Guys, today we're going to start with my basic all-around stretching routine. I have an app called Simple Interval Timer that I use. It's a very basic and no frills whatsoever workout interval timer. And so it is one that is available on Apple. There are some similar ones on Google Play Store, and I will put some of those links in the description. So let's get started. For these stretches, you want to hold each stretch for about 30 seconds and then move into the next position. So these are going to be done in real time. So this workout is going to take about 15 minutes or so. And it does move through all of the major muscle groups and give you a good overall stretch. These are perfect, especially if you've been unable to get up and move around. It helps to prevent stiffness and soreness. One thing to keep in mind is you want to maintain an upright posture while you're doing this to help reduce the strain on your neck and back and shoulders and all that other good stuff. So let's get started. So first you want to do tilting the head forward. Only stretch to what is comfortable for you. And what is comfortable for you is going to be different. I've been consistently stretching for a little while now, so chances are my stretches are going to be a little bit deeper than yours. Just do what you can comfortably do and worry about building from there. You've got all the time in the world to do this. Don't rush it. Next is tilt your head back. And again, just what's comfortable. You're going to feel this both in the front of your throat and in the back of your neck where the muscles are contracted. And then, of course, each side. And if all you can do is this, that's fine. When I started doing concerted stretching, I could not move my head, neck very much at all. So baby steps, people. By the way, the beeping that you can hear is the interval timer. I have it on my watch to help me keep up with how long I'm holding the stretch, because I just never seem to manage to keep track by counting the seconds. Okay, this next one is what my physical therapist called sniffing your armpit. You want to turn your head at about a 45-degree angle and then tilt down as if you're trying to sniff your armpit, which, yes, I know, sounds lovely. This is going to do the back side of your neck, and it really feels wonderful. You can also do this one tilting backwards if you need to. Give it a try and see what your muscles tell you. Always come up, then rotate your head, and then back down when you're switching. If you try to rotate your head while it's tilted down, it's going to get a little uncomfortable. And again, little posture checks throughout to make sure you're upright. If you want, you can do this seated in a chair. Most of these can be done seated, fine. Here's what it would look like tilting the head back in this angle. But as I was saying, seated in a chair works great. That way you can have something supporting, especially your lower back. And one thing you're going to notice is that everything is paired. You want to be working out the muscles on both sides of your body. Otherwise, you'll be a little lopsided. I don't know if any of you remember the comic strip Baby Blues, but there was one that showed the mom and her left arm was just huge and muscular and her right arm was not. And her husband was telling her that maybe she should start carrying the baby around in her right arm as well as her left to kind of balance it out. You spent a lot of time holding the kid, you understand that one. Now we're going to move to the arms and shoulders. This one is a very good stretch for the shoulder. You want to pull back using the hand that is up in the air just a little bit to feel the stretch. Again, only what is comfortable. If it's uncomfortable, you're doing too much. If none of it is comfortable, then leave this one out for a little bit until you get a little more flexible. Something I forgot to mention, if you have developed hypermobility, in other words, your limbs stretch a little bit more than they really should, and your doctor or physical therapist would be able to tell you on this one. Don't do this. Do whatever stretches your doctor or physical therapist recommend. Please, I have no experience with hypermobility, and I do not want you to do something that's going to cause you even more problems because, well, none of us need more issues on top of the ones we're already dealing with our routine symptoms. Now we're going to do the back of the arm, the tricep. And you want your hand to be down between the center of your shoulder blades and gentle pressure on the elbow to push it back. Again, so it's comfortable. And again, don't forget the occasional posture checks. Don't know if you've noticed, but I have to stop and do them periodically as well. I have a tendency to kind of slump forward. You don't want to do that. Upright, shoulders back, head erect. The idea is for your spine to be in a neutral position, which, by the way, does not mean perfectly straight. And then torso twist. And I'm using gentle pressure on my knee to help twist my body around, and one hand behind me on the mat for support to help keep me upright. I love starting my day this way. Usually I do it a little bit earlier in the day. It's not quite as hot, but I had something this morning that I had to do that delayed me getting out here. And you don't have to do these outside. I just like coming outside in the backyard when it's not wet or super hot to get out, get some of that vitamin D. Okay. And then stretch the side. You want to reach over with your arm. You can put one hand here to kind of help support your upright posture. I know it's a lot to remember while you're doing these, but you'll get the hang of it. Keep coming back. And always remember, do what's comfortable. Don't overdo it. Would defeat the purpose here. And feel free to adjust in the middle of the stretch. Right now, it was starting to feel a little bit much in through here. I didn't do it as deep for the last part. This one is a little more advanced, but one that you can consider. It really adds the stretch off to the side of the spine, kind of between here and between your spine. That one I don't hold as long. I'm not there yet. Omit this one if you're just getting started with a stretching routine. And then, of course, the legs. This is kind of a runner stretch, I believe. Don't do the one where your foot is out behind you. There we go. This is kind of what they showed us when I was in elementary school. That's actually very hard on your knees. So you want to have it inward this way so it's in a much more neutral position with less strain. Okay, these next are standing. Just a forward fold. If you've done a lot of yoga, you may be familiar with this one. Feels absolutely wonderful. Do the mid and lower back, especially the mid back here. If your balance isn't great, which is going to be true for a lot of us, have your hand on something. I have this little foldable step stool that I use when I'm not feeling very steady. And then next, you want to reach overhead and really stretch your spine out. Again, keeping your spine straight. Don't tilt your head back too far, you risk getting dizzy. And we don't want that. If you're not steady, do this inside where you've got a wall or something that you can put your hand on to steady you. And then for the rest of the leg ones, my handy dandy stool. This one gets the calf back there stretched out some. Okay. This one does in through here on this leg. How many of the muscles get involved depends on how deep you take it. Remember, only what's comfortable. And then we do the next foot. Whoop. See, you too can do videos of workouts. Here we go. I frequently do these over using the stairs on the deck, but our deck does not look very pretty. I didn't want that. Repeats. I have 2 more stretches that I'm going to show you. I have to restart the timer here. And I'll put the settings that I have for this stretching routine in the caption for the video. This one, you definitely want something to help you balance. This stretches the front of the upper leg, the thigh. And that one's not going to happen for very long, but again, you would just repeat it as such on the other leg. As I said, if you're feeling unsteady, don't try to do these when you're unsteady, please. All right, that is it for stretching. You can do a forward fold while seated. This is something else you'll see frequently in yoga, and for that you would just fold forward. I find it's more comfortable to do when I'm cross-legged. I have seen others do this. I cannot go nearly as far in this position. So give it a try, see what feels good for you. That does both of the inner thighs and can also feel very good if you've gotten pretty stiff. That is my basic stretching routine. I hope you found it useful, and remember, do not do these if your doctor hasn't cleared you for stretching routines, and especially if you're experiencing hypermobility, stick with whatever stretches your doctor or physical therapist has given you for that, or consult an expert in that area, please. As I said before, I am not knowledgeable of hypermobility and what is and is not safe there. But as I said, I hope you found this useful, and I'm going to do a few others. I'm not going to record them today because it is getting quite hot out here. I'm in North Carolina, and it's going to be up around 100 today, so I need to get back inside before my asthma gets angry at me. But have a great day. Spread joy, not germs.